Hello everyone, Trenton Jones here. I decided to go with Press to Play on my 2.5 assignment for Psychology of Play. One of the podcasts I decided to go with was Understanding and Dealing with Anxiety. Now, when I was listening to this, one of the biggest things that they started off with was that this class is helping people right now with people going through anxiety, stress, everyday life issues, because it's connecting to you on a personal level. It's not something that you're doing a whole bunch of research on. It's something that you're doing a look inside at yourself. And me being a person that's gone through a lot of anxiety, I was in the Army for a few years. I did not enjoy my time. My unit kind of had it out for me once I got there. Let's just say that when I got out, I had over 100 days of leave that they had to pay me for. It wasn't fun, and I suggest anybody that does decide to go to the military, pick a career. Because when you get out and you're airborne infantry, cool, you know how to shoot guns, as everybody says. So I would not suggest just going that if you want to have a career when you get out. But that's not what I'm talking about today. With understanding and dealing with anxiety, I was going through a lot of stuff. When I went into the Army, I had a friend that had gone in with me. Last day I ever seen him was at a church on base, and he seemed distraught. He said that, "I'm going home, man." He said, "I broke my foot." They gave him the option to either go home, heal, and come back and start over, or he can just go home. That's what he told to me. So I don't know the rest of the full story. I told him I'd see him when I got to my unit. Should be able to go on Christmas break. And that did not happen. So his wife called me a couple days afterwards, and she had told me, "Did you hear what happened to Dustin?" And she had told me that he had passed. I didn't even want to believe it. I was in shock. Long story short, my grandmother passed the month after. My great-grandmother passed the month after that. I didn't get to go home the entire time. No funerals, no viewings, no mourning, no grief. I dealt with a lot of stress. I got married and shouldn't have. I wouldn't even call it a marriage. I would say it was probably an agreement. Recently, during these classes, my dad passed away. He passed away week 2 of our classes in creative presentation. And for a couple days, I didn't know what to do. I wasn't focused. I stared at a screen for 2 hours. I'm a person that's really creative. I'm passionate about what I do. And I didn't know what to do. I just stared. I was like, what am I doing? So what really drove me to get past that was staying focused on my schoolwork. I'm always a person that being focused and being engaged keeps me from thinking about my troubles. If I'm helping somebody with their troubles, I'm not thinking about my troubles, which some people may say, hey, you need to focus on your life too, though. I devote time to my life, but I don't like to dwell on it. I give myself enough time needed, but I don't like to dwell on it, and I don't like to mourn for a very long time because then it consumes me. I'm a person that's passionate on helping people, and anything I can do to help somebody, I will. And that's why the goal that I'm working towards in this career is what I'm going for. And it's been rough, really rough. But engaging in these classes has helped me out tremendously. And it's opened my eyes on what I'm going to school for. I'm going to school not just to learn something. I'm going to school to provide tools for my son. I'm going to school to help my family. There's a whole big picture with what my plans are. It's not, I'm going to school and I want to get a job in game design. I have big goals. So I might be shooting a little too high, but I have big goals. Anyway, they went on to talk about how coping mechanisms. As I was talking about with coping mechanisms, mine is keep busy. Some people may want to keep busy by playing games. Some people don't want to talk to people. Some people want to be surrounded. I'm a person that if I'm in a big group, if I'm upset, don't come around me, leave me alone. So that's my philosophy. Everybody's different. Everybody's got a different coping mechanism. And when I was going through those troubles in the Army, I had to go seek some help. And when all that was going on, I learned quite a few coping mechanisms. And there was some people, I had a friend. Long story. Something happened with his child. I helped him. He wanted to go get into a fight. I told him, I said, come with me. I took him out to the woods, handed him an axe. I told him, take this axe, close your eyes, picture everything that's stressing you out in your life. Picture all your anger. Picture everybody that's talked bad about you. There was more that went on. I'm limited on time here, but I told him to open his eyes. I told him keep swinging, swing, swing. He kept hitting that tree, pretty big tree, and a dull axe. It's not going to do anything, and it was dead. So but anyway, after he couldn't lift his arms anymore, I took the axe back from him. Said, all right, I want you to picture everything good in your life. I want you to picture your girlfriend. I want you to picture your daughter. I want you to picture your family, your friends that love you. And I want to picture everything you have to appreciate in your life. He opened his eyes. He was smiling. He had a big old grin. And when we got back to the apartment, I told him, I said, all right, close your eyes again. Think of all those things. I want you to go back in there and give your girlfriend a kiss. And I want you to give your daughter a hug. And he was good for about 2 weeks. I told him that going and getting into a fight is not going to be good for your child. There's a whole bunch of legal issues with that, because then your kid will go to a foster home. But everybody has a different coping mechanism. For him, that worked. So I was able to help him out, and I was going through stress. I was going through divorce at the time. I was able to help him out with his stress, and it made me feel a little bit better, and it made me not think about what's going on in my life by helping somebody else. So I really think that anybody that's going through stress right now should really take in on what understanding and dealing with anxiety is on the Psychology of Play podcast. It's amazing. And one other tidbit, they were talking about instructors on people jumping to conclusion that if they're not answering, my instructor doesn't want to help me or anything. I'm a person that looks at viewpoints in different perspectives. Before I start judging someone, I like to put myself here, 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 and here. I like to look at it at different angles. Sometimes I get a little aggravated and I don't put myself there and I just go straight forward and look at it with tunnel vision. But one of the biggest things is they've got stuff going on in their lives. For example, creative presentation last week when the instructor moved it to Tuesday. And I had a problem with my dad going on. And I was trying to let him know I couldn't get a hold of him. I figured, I was like, if he moved it to Tuesday, obviously he's probably not going to answer late Friday afternoon, Saturday, or Sunday, because he's probably got something going on this weekend and he's probably going to be busy. Maybe he's got a family thing going on. I try not to jump and judge to assume people so quickly before I have the full story. Like I said, sometimes I can't always do that, but I try to put myself there as much as I can. I hope this helps anybody, and I love this class, and I think Quest 4 was a really good way to express myself, and I apologize for this going so long.